Sad news. How's that for a twister?
Woo!
Sad news coming out of Iowa. It's common to see a rollover crash. Mm-hmm. Not like super common to see one every day, but they occur quite a bit in the United States. But a couple hauling seed, tractor trailer, rolled over, and they were both killed.
Oh,
sad, isn't it?
Yeah.
And I believe they were in their 70s.
Oh, wow.
A seed truck rollover crash claimed the lives of two people in Iowa this week. The crash occurred shortly after 9 a.m. Wednesday morning, March 6th, near Marion, Iowa. It says 24-year-old John Kilberg was behind the wheel of a seed truck traveling. And this guy actually caught it on dash cam. And it said the truck suddenly lost control. I just wanted to kind of...
Does it say it was medically? Because they're like 70.
No, here, let me tell you. It just says they lost control. And you're right, it could be medically. You don't know what caused it, but it says both Kilberg and his wife, Donnell, 70, were trapped in the cab. They were extricated out of the truck, and then they died at the hospital. Both of them. They probably, it sounds like they were probably married for a long time together. When they're not really retired because he's working.
Right.
Yeah, I think he was about 74 or 73. She's 70, and he flipped. Anyway, so I watched the accident.
Okay.
Very violent. If you want to go to CDL Life or YouTube, you could find it. All you got to do is just search elderly couple dies in rollover crash. But what's sad is now the dash cam shows he veers off the road a little to the right. See, the guy's traveling behind him, and the seed truck veers to the right a little bit. And so when he catches the berm, he tries to come back on real suddenly. Mm-hmm. And overcorrecting flips the truck. And I mean, when it flips, it just spins and rolls. Very violent crash. Very, very sad. And, I'm sure that the impact was just devastating, to them. But I will tell you, one of the things, we've talked about this before, if you go into a ditch or you go off the road, and you have a little bit of a lip, don't whip your wheel back to the road.
No, don't whip at all.
Don't, slow down or gun it, okay, and just come suddenly, keep your truck in control. Don't just panic and whip the wheel. Believe it or not, if you go too far to the right or to the left and you're in a ditch, you're better off riding it out and going into the ditch and coming to a stop.
Using it as like one of those the ramp thingies?
No, just basically you're better off keeping the truck upright is my whole point.
Right.
You're better off being towed out of the ditch. Okay, that's better on your resume than rolled the truck over if you lived through it, which these two people did not live through it. So the best practice is to keep your eye on the road. You know what I'm saying? And not drift over to an area where you have to over or under correct.
I agree.
Yeah. So don't know what happened. Like you said, it could have been medical.
Well, I'm just, he's 70. You never know at that age.
Well, I mean, 70's not that old anymore.
It's not, but that's usually when all these little, these different conditions usually start appearing. If they're a healthy person, they,
Mm-hmm.
This is the age where all those kind of things start appearing more than, sometime in their late 60s, early 70s, they find out that they have certain conditions, and, he might not have known he had something. Either way, I feel bad for them.
There's like a bunch of 70-year-old truckers listening to you right now, getting ready to email you.
Email me. I want to hear from you. I want to see if you're listening.
Yeah.
Yes, that's morbid me.
Okay, so anyways, moving on. After that, moving on. We are going to be, I want to let everybody know, first off, we're going to be at the truck show. Louisville Matt's is in 2 weeks. We're going to be there, right?
We are.
And the next 2 weeks, we're going to be gone. So there will not be any new podcasts on Talk CDL for the next couple of weeks. So we will probably be posting our next this episode obviously will be coming out on the 10th.
Right, on Sunday.
Of March. And then there will not be a new episode the 17th or the 24th. So the next episode of Talk CDL will be on the 31st. Will be the next one after this.
Yeah, hopefully we'll get to see a lot of y'all at Louisville and be able to hi and get to introduce ourselves that way and see everybody. And
what is the booth number 66105 or something like that?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, stop in and say hi to Talk CDL. We would love to meet everybody. We've been going to the shows for the last couple of years, and we've met a lot of good drivers, a lot of good people.
Right.
And so we're definitely looking to shake hands, say hi to everybody. So come on out and see us. Anyways, moving on. A little bit of breaking news coming out of the trucking world this week. There was a rollover in West Virginia, another rollover, right, on a road that truck drivers are not supposed to be on, I guess.
Uh-oh.
And let me just pull this up here. So one has him, the county is called, let me get to the dang thing. The rollover crash was on in West Virginia. Lumber truck driver still missing after crews comb through debris from wrecked lumber truck on treacherous road. They're reporting this trucker flipped over in Kanawha County, West Virginia. He was going down a road he shouldn't have been down. He went down, I guess, flipped down a 50-foot embankment. The truck landed upside down and spilled its load of lumber. And they've been digging through and have not found the guy.
Okay. Oh, wow.
Right. So anyway, so then I was paging through and just breaking a news place out of, I don't know if they're out of West Virginia or where, but they're just reporting the driver's name is Carlos M. Bonifacimunoz, right? 6 foot tall guy. Apparently, it says deputies need your help finding a man who's been missing after a rollover crash. See, now, all week they've been thinking this guy's underneath the wreckage. He's crushed to death. Can't find this guy, blah, 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 right? And it says here, the driver Carlos Bonifacimunoz, 39, hasn't been seen since the crash Thursday in the 1700 block of Hurricane Road in Frame. Is reported around 5:30 a.m. Kanawha County Sheriff's deputies need assistance finding Bonifacimunoz, who is described as 6 foot tall, 170 pounds, black hair, and brown eyes. It says he left the scene of the crash before first responders could show up. Now, that's pretty crappy, unless the guy has what's it called when you lose your memory?
Amnesia.
Yeah, amnesia. You know what I mean? But it says, I don't think he does have amnesia because it says deputies say he contacted a family member in New Jersey who said Bonifacimunoz could be on Spencer Road in the Cotton area of West Virginia. Well, I mean, maybe, I guess you could have amnesia and still dial some, remember. It's like people that have dementia and Alzheimer's. They still remember things. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So maybe this guy, that was a pretty violent rollover also. Maybe he got hurt, dialed a number in his phone, was talking to somebody. Nobody knows where he's at, not even the family. But apparently he walked away from the accident. So the plot thickens and dun, 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 dun.
He's on the run.
I don't know if he's on the run. It's just, hopefully the poor guy is found and...
I don't know. I mean, okay, I could be like the really I'm going to be you.
You want to be the negative?
I'm going to do you.
Good cop, bad cop.
Yeah, I'm you right now.
Are you bad cop?
Yeah.
Wait, hold on a second.
I'm the negative person right now. I'm you.
Oh, wait a second. You keep going. You're Troy.
Yeah, because I'm usually the opposite. So I'm being I'm the person that's not looking for all the good like I usually am, and I'm looking at
All right, I'll be you.
Okay.
All right. I bet it's just something. It wasn't his fault.
Okay, that's so not me. But I think because he knew he wasn't supposed to be where he was, had a rollover, major accident. He's afraid. Probably he's maybe not. It doesn't say how long he's had his CDL, so he might be really new to everything and is so afraid that he's going to get in trouble. Majorly now he is, but he probably felt, I'm just gonna run and hide and I'm never gonna show my face again because I screwed up so badly and I don't want to have to deal with it. That's my guess.
I know, man, but like I don't think that way. Now, I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about, now this is possible. I've seen people do what you just said.
Yeah.
They get so scared. It's
BTK, hello.
No, BTK purposely killed people and then disappeared for 15 years.
Yeah, he disappeared.
Well, this guy didn't purposely roll over his truck.
No, he didn't purposely roll over. He just was in an area he wasn't supposed to be.
Well, right. He was where he wasn't supposed to be. Possibly GPS, whatever, right?
Right.
Again, a lot of not so smart drivers have been found in weird places because of their GPS. Let's be honest.
I was one. I went in a strange area because...
No. I'm talking about like, I've got a video of a driver that's in the middle of a field off of an interstate.
Yeah. Or the one that went into the woods.
Yeah. Where they just, the guy is in the middle of a field and the cop is literally asking him what he did. And the guy's going GPS. It's like, but anyways, bottom line though, this guy goes down a mountain, flips a truck, gets out and disappears. And, the only one that heard from him is somebody in New Jersey. I think there's a possibility that he's hurt.
Oh, he could be. Yeah, you're right. I mean, he can be.
I mean, I agree with you that
he can be hurt. And he could have gotten hit in a good side of his brain that's like memory loss, short-term memory loss, not regular amnesia to where he don't remember everything.
I agree with you that he definitely could be just like, oh my gosh, I feel so stupid doing this, blah, blah, blah. And I can't face it, but obviously he's in more trouble because of that. And obviously he's probably out of trucking for quite a while, leaving the scene of an accident, rollover, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
So anyways, I guess it remains to be seen, but my guess is they'll catch up with this guy this week.
I hope so. I mean, I hope that it gets straightened out, no matter what.
Yeah. Okay. Moving on. Okay. Ruth, you're saying sponsors? Is that what you're saying? You're waving to me. Say we're going to take our sponsor break.
We're going to take our sponsor break.
Okay. Yeah, is that what you want to do? All right. We'll be right back. Truck Parking Club is a network of instantly reservable daily and monthly truck parking locations throughout the U.S. Truck Parking Club helps connect truckers to truck parking locations throughout the U.S. via truckparkingclub.com. Our networks is made up of property owners that have locations adequate for truck parking to list on the platform. This includes trucking companies, storage companies, CDL schools, trailer leasing companies, real estate investors, truck parking operators, and more. Go to truckparkingclub.com today. If you're a driver looking for a new trucking job, check out NCI. NCI offers the following: new Kenworth T680s, competitive wages, solo, team, and students welcome, plus a full benefit package for you and your family. Check them out today at 888-311-7076. That's 888-7076. And tell them Talk CDL sent you. Hey drivers, are you sick of watching the other drivers bypass the way station while you are held up going through yourself? Well, download Drivewyze today at www.drivewyze.com. That's DRIVEWYZE.com, and start bypassing the scales yourself. If you're a small carrier, an owner-operator, or even a big fleet looking for something better, check out Drivewyze today. And remember, there's no equipment, no transponders needed when you're using Drivewyze. Check them out for a free download at www.drivewyze.com. Drivers, if you're looking for a local, home, everyday driving job, apply with Carter Lumber today. They have positions for Class A and Class B local drivers. They can take experienced drivers, students, and non-CDL drivers. With over 160 locations, chances are they have a position for you. So go to carterlumber.com/talkcdl and apply today. Again, that's carterlumber.com/talkcdl. Thank you. All right, we are back. Just a quick 30-second mention. I want to give somebody a mention.
Okay.
It's a mention because he's a bonehead.
But that's not always a good way of going.
I'm just going to give him a bonehead mention.
Alrighty.
His name is Kurt the Cyberguy, right? And he comes on, he's doing this video of how Tesla whipped up on a bunch of diesel trucks, right? They're videoing this Tesla rig passing diesel rigs going up Donner's Pass, right? Mm-hmm. And he's flying. This Tesla's just flying, right? But he never mentions the weight. I mean, you could obviously tell that all the diesel trucks that he's blowing by, right, they're probably maxed out on weight. But the Tesla truck, I'm not saying an electric truck doesn't have power. They do. Electric trucks have a lot of power. I'm not going to, put that part down. But, to try to sell electric trucks that way, I'd take a diesel truck over an electric truck any day. There's no way. And they're trying to say Tesla can go 500 miles without a charge. Problem is, man, when you get there, the charge, how long does it take? It takes quite a while to charge that truck up. You know what I mean? After a 500-mile trip. Now you've got quite a bit, and that's if it can get the 500 miles. If you're cranking it up Donner Pass, I guarantee you're not getting 500 miles for the day if you're pounding it to go up that hill.
Mm-hmm. And I mean, I'm just curious. Is the Tesla truck, the tractor itself, that weighs less than a normal diesel truck because it don't have the fuel and stuff? No?
No, the batteries are freaking monstrous.
Yeah, see, that's what I didn't know. So I didn't know if the tractor itself even weighed less to where it would still...
I don't think so. I mean, because like your electric cars, they're heavy because the battery is like the length of the car underneath. They're just massive weight. Yeah, it's not like a regular battery, you know what I mean, that you have. These new lithium batteries are just massive. But either way, I just thought I'd give him the Bonehead Award because, if you want to make a good comparison, you got to put the weights and everything.
Yeah, they have to match.
Yeah, I mean, if the guy said, hey, we were maxed out at 80,000, he was going up the hill like that, I say, that son of a gun hums. But I don't think so. I don't think it was 80,000. And if it was 80,000, he'd probably chop off about 100 miles or 200 miles of his range by hammering it that hard up that hill.
I would also say, I know with the cars, the more you use luxury things like air conditioning and heat, that sucks the battery life down too. I would only guess that with a semi-truck, the more you would use the luxury items of the heat and the electric or the AC, that would also make the life of your charge go down even faster too.
I have a friend that has a Tesla S, and what's sad about it, he he hardly ever can put the heater on because it literally pulls the battery down. So, and it was cold this year, and I've gone on, a few rides with him in that S, and I'm like, hey, Sam, why don't you put the heater on, man? It's freezing in here, and he'll put it on for a little bit, but, it's a drain. Now, he said that they fixed that on the new Teslas, but, honestly, I'm not buying the entire, electric truck thing.
Do you remember when there was that major ice storm that happened up? It was like Virginia, North Carolina. There's a huge, there was like...
I do.
Do you remember the stories of how wonderful the truck drivers were giving blankets to these families that were around and so forth? Some of them had Teslas because they had to shut their cars off, all of them, because of, saving on gas and then saving on their electric. But there was less, the way I'm understanding, the Tesla, the electric vehicles that were in the area had more issues because of the fact they couldn't, there's no way to charge them, where all the gas vehicles, they could shut them off if they wanted to, but they didn't really have to do that until it hit a certain point. And then down in, is it where Jay's from? Down there where the hurricane hit?
Cape Coral, yeah.
There was a lot of problems with the...
electric cars.
Yeah, the batteries were exploding and stuff and being flooded.
Yeah. There's a lot of bad stories coming out. Up in the cold, it's hard to charge these things. They got to keep them indoors, blah, blah, blah. So they're not as great as they're trying to make them out to be, which leads me to this next story.
Awesome.
Listen to this story. It's kind of interesting. It says... electrify all the big noisy belching trucks. So what they're trying to do, and I'm going to read a little bit of this article, just so you know. It says this morning in Mott Haven, a neighborhood in the South Bronx, tens of thousands of New Yorkers woke up and breathed in the thick air of vehicle exhaust. Hundreds of trucks drive through here daily to and from enormous food distribution centers, Hunts Point Produce Market, as well as other nearby warehouses, shipping facilities, and waste transfer stations. I'm going to tell you something. People are getting rich off this BS. This is their call for electric vehicles. Now just hear this out. It's what they're saying is they call this area Asthma Alley because of big rigs. I'm serious, because they're saying this is one of the highest amount of asthma cases, in New York City because of where they're at, and all the big rigs have to come through there, and all the big rigs are hurting people. Okay. That's what they're saying. And so it says, the neighborhood, sometimes nicknamed Asthma Alley, has some of the most polluted air in the country, leaving residents at an increased risk not only for lung disease and strokes from diesel fumes and other pollutants, but also for asthma. In 2015, Mott Haven and the neighboring Melrose had the highest asthma hospitalization rate among children 5 to 14 in New York City. So what they're trying to say is more than 45 million people in the United States live within 300 feet of major transportation facilities or roadways. So, from, like where big distribution centers are, they're counting all them, and then they're counting roadways where people's houses are near, and big rigs are, I'll be honest with you. It's never good enough for these people. It really does. It makes me sick, because remember when we were kids and you seen tractor trailers go down the road? What did you see? Back, I'm talking
big ploofs of smoke.
It was nasty, man. I remember how bad it was. The emissions, there was no emissions. It was like, and it gagged you. You know what I mean? Because my grandfather was in the coal industry, and we had end dumps, and you'd get behind somebody, and you would be in a cloud of black soot, smoke coming from that rig. Well, it's not like that anymore. You don't see big, gigantic puffs of black smoke coming out of a truck unless there's something wrong with the truck now. Where do you see tractor trailers with gigantic clouds of smoke coming out?
I really don't.
You don't see it anymore. But you see, that's still not good enough for them. The emissions have gotten so stringent on tractor trailers. Now they got this big push for what? See, they're not making enough money. So now what they're doing, they got this big push for electric trucks. This is really what it comes down to. It's the people, I'm serious, the rich people at the top are getting filthy freaking rich. They say just to make one battery that it takes that much energy to make a battery that it really isn't really saving the country from anything. So here we are, right? And they're trying to say Biden, I guess, the president, it said President Biden issued an executive order committing to confront the climate crisis, hold polluters accountable, and deliver environmental justice to communities across America. This is what he said when he got into office. Now, I'm not getting political, okay? I'm just telling you what this article is saying about diesel. Okay, this is invading now the trucking industry, so that's why I'm even mentioning a political holder, which is Biden, okay? I'm not saying good or bad about the president. I'm just saying this is what he said. It signaled a significant commitment and was reaffirmed by another executive order in April, promising to better protect overburdened communities from pollution and environmental harms. Here's the goal, okay? It says, in one attempt to fulfill these pledges, the Environmental Protection Agency proposed a new rule in April to reduce greenhouse emissions in trucks manufactured and sold starting in the model year of 2027. A vitally important move since trucks and other heavy-duty vehicles are responsible for 30% of the country's road transportation-related emissions. The goal was to create conditions to ensure a quarter of new heavy trucks, I'm going to say that again, 25% of all new heavy trucks sold in the United States by 2032 have to be electric. That's their goal. And what they're trying to do is keep up with California. It even says this. It says, but the rule is too weak. It would leave the United States far behind other nations, even the state of California, where truck manufacturers have already agreed to accept a plan to ban the sale of new diesel big rigs by 2036. So in just a little over 10 years, which is really not that far away. One decade from now, they're saying in 2036, you cannot buy anything diesel out there in California. That's their commitment. And they're trying to get the United States on board with all this stuff and rule out diesel trucks. And like I said, just go back to 20, 30 years ago when tractor trailers were just big black smokes going down the road. Mm-hmm. Now you don't see that. They've complied and complied and complied, and now it's just more ramming the trucking industry, ramming it. And it's just like, okay, we're not making enough money off the diesel trucking industry anymore. Let's go ahead and make this $1 trillion industry of electric vehicles, and people are going to get fat and rich off of it. That's really all they care about. To me, that's my entire take on that.
I agree with you 100% with that. And I grew where we grew up, but I was right on where.
I know where you lived. You live on Pottsville Street, right?
Yeah, right there at 183. So yeah. I was on a main street where trucks were going by all the time, and my lungs are okay. But here's the thing that gets me is I would bet 100%. Well, maybe not that, but I would bet at least that the houses that they're trying to say where all these kids are that have the effect of it, they're probably, of course, not new houses, because who's going to build in a brand new house right by a...
Well, that is one of the things they did say. You're right about that. They're saying it's the more poor neighborhoods where tractor trailer paths come through. So you did hit that right.
Well, yeah, and those houses probably have not only lead paint still in
asbestos.
And yeah, so I was going to say the drywall. Back then, it was not regular drywall sheets. It was the
panels.
No, it wasn't panels at all. It was where it was the plaster.
Oh, okay.
You know what plaster, I mean?
Yeah.
So all that stuff doesn't have. They're finding out it had serious health risks that people had. I wouldn't doubt that that's what really was people's problems.
So you're saying the problem, probably the underlying problem, is more, and again, we're not putting poor people down, because you and I were very poor at one time, very poor, and the people that live in those, poorer neighborhoods. I mean, in all honesty, where usually your highways come through, because people with money aren't going to live right there. We know that. And you're probably right. Those houses, a lot of them still have, probably asbestos and all kind of stuff in them yet. But again, no, look, whether it is or it isn't, I'm sure that if you did studies all over the country, okay, a lot of times what people do is they show numbers to be able to push their agenda. Okay, and that's really, you know what I mean? Like, if you want to push a certain agenda, you're going to go find numbers that agree with you. And then you're going to...
Exactly.
Right, you're going to go out there and go, look at these numbers, man. This is alarming, baby. My God, these people are going to die. But, and look, I feel for anybody that gets asthma. I'm not, making light of anybody's sickness. I'm just saying that you can find numbers to support you all day long on your cause all day long. Okay. And that's exactly what we're seeing in an article like this.
Right. Have people checked in Texas City where the refineries are, have people checked in other areas where, in Nevada, where they're doing all the nuclear testing, and not nuclear, but all the testings for the bombs and stuff like that, the military. Everybody's going to have something in an area, outside an area that's like that too. It's just, you're going to try and figure out, like you said, you're going to look and keep finding something, even if it's not accurate.
Yeah. I mean, if you ever look at people that argue both sides of anything in law, one has numbers to support their cause. The people that are going against them have numbers to support their cause.
Exactly.
It becomes like this expert witness standoff in a sense. So I would tell you that, to me, I went on a long trip in a Tesla. Okay. And I'm going to tell you right now, stopping to charge is a pain in the butt. It really is. Mm-hmm. So, and then here's the other thing. Sometimes you stop at those little, you'll look on your map for the charging areas, right? Mm-hmm. And you'll find a place to charge, and you'll get there, and there's a line of people waiting to charge, waiting to sit for 20 minutes. So you may be there an hour. You just don't know. And there's not enough charging stations to support. I don't know. I'll tell you, what a world we live in. We all look back and we go, we never thought we'd see this day. And here we are. And it's like we're trying to push electric trucks. And then I seen a video the other day of this anonymous facility in Texas that is being operated by all autonomous trucks, and they're all yard trucks, backing in, putting trucks in the door, getting them ready for loads, zipping around each other and all this other BS. And they're staying anonymous. They do not want anybody to know. You know what I mean? It's probably not that hard to guess how many gigantic facilities that would do something like this. Probably something like Walmart or Swift or one of these, big companies that has a distribution center. Not that Swift has one. So, but I guess it all remains to be seen. I hope I'm retired by the time we go all electric and all this other BS comes, if it even happens.
Yeah, I don't want to be involved in that at all.
Yeah. So moving on. Ruth Ann, do you have? Did you mention the ice pick guy? You said it was kind of a controversial thing you read. So there's no. But bottom line is, it said he struck again, but it didn't say where. And I was thinking, I wonder if they're just trying to take this guy's notoriety away from him, because I will guarantee you, this clown that's the ice pick bandit that keeps flattening tractor trailer tires along I-75 from Florida all the way up to Kentucky. He's been in fact, they've had him on camera. Even those night cameras don't really do justice. My guess is, there you got Ruth Ann's holding up this guy's, looks like a I'd say, would you say 20s?
Yeah, he doesn't look like he's too old because it looks like he's either trying to grow a mustache or...
I was going to say he's like maybe 20, skinny white guy, right? And it's almost like he you know what I mean? He's getting off on this. And so it's making him more daring because he's really hit. I wonder how many trucks total he's flattened.
They actually don't have a 100% accurate number. And not only is he doing the tires, but he's also doing the airlines and the brakes.
What a jackass.
So he's going to end up killing people because of the fact that the extreme way he's doing it. There's different people that are saying that he's going to end up getting himself killed because he's going to get caught and there's going to be no mercy for him, basically.
Maybe. But, I personally, I'm pretty sure the guy is going to get caught, okay? Because stupid is as stupid does. Isn't that what Forrest Gump used to say? Mm-hmm. And, you're driving around and I don't think he realizes people are out to find him, Somebody's going to see that picture. Somebody's going to recognize this guy and they're going to turn him in. And I will guarantee there's other things that the cops know about, you know what I mean, that they probably haven't divulged. Mm-hmm. And, this guy, I'm actually really going to be happy when this guy gets caught. I mean, I am going to be super ecstatic. I might even go to his first appearance just to try to video it if they'll let me video it in the courtroom.
No, that would be really cool, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I'd like to put this clown's face and name out there for everybody to see because, he's hurting... honestly, hardworking men and women, truck drivers, even if you get, this is to me horrible because yes, if he hits an owner operator, man, it's coming out of his pocket.
Yeah, it's like 10 to 15,000.
It's a lot of money for all the tires, the time down, loss of load, how long it's going to take to get all this done. But even a company driver, okay? You're still hurting a company man, even if the guy's only making $1,200 a week, right? And you flatten all his tires, he's down for a day or two. You just took money out of that guy's family, out of his mouth,
out of his kids' mouths.
Yeah, I mean, what kind of dumbass? See, Ruth, the only thing that I could think of. Okay, nobody is anybody that stupid that they're just having fun ruining people's lives? Are they that stupid? Or is there something that he's pissed off about a trucker? Does this guy have something against all truckers? Did a trucker take his job? Did a trucker take his wife? Did a trucker maybe somebody he knows and loved get into an accident with a tractor trailer? I don't know, but dude, if you're listening to me, if you're the Ice Pick Bandit and you're listening to me, you cannot blame the entire industry on something that might have happened to you. Ruth Ann, I'm just trying to guess why some dumbass would go up and down an interstate over 5 states just flattening tires.
I put them on the same level of mentality as the people that stand up on an overpass and throw bricks and rocks.
By the way, that happened this past week.
Yeah. Honestly, it's there's no explanation why someone will go to the extremes that they're going through. It's like they have this mental incapacity in their brain to where they just want to do something stupid and not realize.
Yeah. Well, listen, Ruth Ann, let's not beat a dead horse.
Like horses.
Let's get this show wrapped up. We're going to be heading up to Kentucky here in a day or two. We're going to be up that way trying to get some good video work done, shaking hands. Do you have the word of the day? And let's wrap up this podcast, and then we'll see these folks here in a couple weeks.
I do. Ready for it?
Let's hear it.
Crisscross.
Crisscross?
Quissquass.
So Q's. It's like somebody saying crisscross with a lisp? Quissquaff.
Kind of. It's with a Q.
Okay, let's hear it.
Crisscross.
Quissquass.
What's it mean?
It means, are you ready?
Yeah.
Hard to deal with, dubious of people, having a character difficult to assess.
That must be the Ice Pick Bandit.
I wanted to trust him, but I also knew that he had a quisquask reputation. She tried to be patient, but she knew that her friend was quisquas.
Wow. Okay. Well,
I could
Ruth,
be quisquas.
Ruth Ann, we'll see everybody at the truck show.
Peace.
We're out of here. Peace. Praise the Lord.